When I first moved up into the Byron area, I was just looking for players. I'd come from a band in Sydney that, was on the scene, and I come from playing with high calibre players. So I just put it out there. I'm looking for the best drummer. And the name that kept on coming back to me was this bloke called Dion.
I first saw Dion in a pub in Lismore, and he was rocking out, and I was just absolutely dumbfounded. It was like, he's on the beat, he's just like little rolls and everything.
I think I met Badger in the pub one night. He was playing in a band with a good friend of mine. We just kind of started chatting, and that's how I became aware of Badger, the bass player. And George, I'd played in another band with George before, back when he was younger, prettier, and had longer hair.
With Brent, I was hanging out at a drinking hole in Lismore. Brent was playing in his band, and he was this shaved head dude playing a P bass, playing with a pick, and playing like fucking thunder. And I was just like, that's the dude. I've kind of found the bass player.
A few weeks later, I was playing a show in my band, and Dion came up to me and said, "Hey, we're getting a band together. Do you want to come and have a jam?" I was like, hell yeah.
We were into the same music, and back then it was kind of like obscure to be into Fu Manchu, Caius, and Queens of the Stone Age, and just all that Southern California stuff, stoner rock, I guess.
George Christie, the man that was born on the day that Jimi Hendrix died. What do you say about that?
We spent a good 12 years together and fought. Fought the greatest Australian heavy rock band that never made it.
We played festivals, played Splendour. We toured with Clutch, we toured with Caius, we toured with Fu Manchu, we did shows with Helmet, we did shows with Monster Magnet. We had an awesome time. Yeah, that's some of the favourite memories that I have.
We had all these songs, and I just didn't want them to go into the songs of the Lost Abyss, And so I said to the boys, can we start a side project?
And that was pretty much the how we got together, and the kind of the catalyst behind Valhalla Lights.
Phoebe came about when we were obviously looking for a singer, and I was working at a music shop in Lismore at the time, and in rolls this girl, and I told her that I had a side project going to Fort, and she was like, "Can I sing?" And I'm like, I kind of went, I think we're actually looking for a guy. And she's like, "No, I think you're looking for me." She said, "I'm a kick-ass singer." And I was like, fuck, I like that attitude.
She walked in straight away. It was like, big hug. "Hey, I'm Phoebe." And it was like, welcome to the band. It had a real vibe of like, oh, welcome home. It just was obvious that she was the one.
She sang unbelievably. There was no debate. There was no discussion. She was it. It was just done.
Phoebe had this uncanny and amazing ability to not only come up with lyrics and melodies, but she had this unusual phrasing that I've never experienced before.
If a band gives a song to a vocalist, that vocalist needs to then find something, needs to take it to other places. And Phoebe Black could do that 100%.
The songs just seemed to just work so much better as soon as Phoebe was on board. They all just seemed to roll, and before we knew it, bang, we had 10 really workable songs.
Yeah, the girl was the real deal. She walked the walk and talked the talk, like she demanded attention. She walked into a room and you knew she was there.
She was Australia's female Bon Scott. She could belt out a song on stage better than anyone else. She was a real rock chick.
When she was on stage, every guy wanted her and every girl wanted to be her. She was just like an idol, you know, and I remember that. I remember before I even really knew her, she'd walk around Bondi rocking her little, you know, look that she had going on.
She exuded that kind of quintessential rock and roll front woman. I was playing in Cog. Yeah, I was just going through the motions in my own kind of world, obviously, when you're playing, and then I've kind of opened my eyes and seen this girl on stage. And it's Phoebe, and she's like going berserk, like just, and like grabbing the mic. The security just came and grabbed her and kicked her out, and she didn't go quietly.
You'd look at Phoebe and see a beautiful girl, and then you'd go to a gig and you'd just see this explosion of rock and roll, and it was beautiful. It was great, you know.
I was at work at the time, at a music shop, and Brent had called me and said, Phoebe's dead. I was just like, what'd you say, man?
My initial thoughts when I heard the news were just like, fuck, like heavy. You know, I was just thinking of her. I guess I just had a whole heap of things going on in my head, but yeah, I was just in shock.
We were all looking forward to a great time. We hadn't played a live show. We were gearing up for that, getting a set together, getting ready for recording. I mean, we were all really excited. Then it all just came apart. When we did the vocals with Phoebe, it was George and myself in George's music shop. And some of the times when Phoebe was putting down these vocals, I had goosebumps going on. I mean, I was sitting there generally without headphones on. Phoebe had headphones on. And I was just listening to her sing. And I couldn't hear the music. I could just hear her voice. And it was amazing. It was so incredible.
It was fantastic. I loved watching her perform. A brilliant performer. And she was an amazing songwriter too. I really fell in love with her songs, especially when she was just singing her on her own with the acoustic guitar. That to me was really the most haunting, sort of give you the goose pimples times when you'd see her just sing just on her own.
She was an amazing singer and an amazing lyricist. Because something always struck me about Phoebe's was, and again, something that again blew me away when I was young, and her lyrics were always just at a whole nother kind of level for me.
Well, prior to Phoebe passing away, the band had many plans. Obviously, the plans involved, you know, rock stardom, touring, you know, touring the world as all bands want to do, and sell millions of records and buy some small island off the coast of Hawaii. Yeah, that was the plan.
So when Phoebe passed away, we had slogged for probably 4 years, Dion, George and myself, working on these songs, and they were sounding so brilliant. We were so happy. We were all very excited, and then for it just to be taken, gone, bang. It was so devastating. And I thought that was it. Finished.
It wasn't long after Phoebe's death that we'd realised that we had 9 songs that were CD quality, that were isolated from the music, that were double tracked, and that were sung perfectly, really. I think we just realised we can do this. We can actually put out a record, not only to finish the project, which was once started, but to give to the world Phoebe's last work.
I think all of us really felt the need to finish it, because we had such great demo tracks that Phoebe had recorded and left for us. Like, it just seemed not right to just let it go.
We got in touch with the Black family, and in particular Belinda Black, which is Phoebe's mother, and told her about the recordings that we had of Phoebe, and would like to go ahead and put this record out.
We chose Rocking Horse to record this album because it's a world-class studio. We'd recorded a couple of albums here prior, and it was one of the few studios around that actually has a tape machine. Phoebe had agreed that that was a cool studio to go to,
we're all keen on using Anthony Lysenko as the engineer because he's awesome.
There's timber, there's glass, there's all of the right surfaces to make it sound amazing. One of the most reputable rooms in this world.
And if you combine that with a tape machine, you can get the best drum sounds anywhere.
It was just a real struggle to work out a way to try and craft a timing over her vocal. It was a very hard experience.
Yeah, verses and choruses are okay, but like the changeovers between the bridges and like, you know, fills and different sections, they're not smooth. There's like obvious tempo changes where if we record that, it's going to show up and it's going to sound pretty bad.
I reckon the tempos and the changes are good.
I'm a drummer, man, trust me, they're there.
I know. I know you got more rhythm than me.
Yeah. They're definitely there.
Right.
Oh, look, I don't mind which way we go, but it's kind of fucking times against us.
No, exactly. You know, we've got 3 jams.
You're about to witness a record done
in the making.
completely arse about face. Vocals first, drums second. Usually it's drums first, for those who are not aware of how a record's usually made. But we're making the click. Yes. So now we have to create a tempo around the vocals in order to record this baby.
The vocals were done in the jam room, and amazingly, we did it right and we double tracked them. And Phoebe had this amazing ability to be able to sing the same track twice very similarly.
Count yourself in.
So we have these 2 beautiful vocal tracks with the music that was just done previously in a jam room setting, all out of time, tempos wavering and so on. So the mission was to take these 2 vocals that are sung in time to this music and turn it into a record that we could produce and put out.
So we were quick to get on it, get a click track happening. I mean, it was a fair process, but we did it, and we're proud of it. And it ended up, through the work of Anthony Lysenko, being a major success.
Sorry,
What's up to the vocals?
Sorry, vocals are a bit quiet.
The vocals are out.
Hey George, I think it might have something to do with the intro.
Yep, we've sorted it.
So you want to listen to it or do
It's
it?
3 count in, it's not a 4 count.
Okay.
In honesty, it's been a pain in the ass project. There's been barriers all the way, but somehow we've persisted.
What's going on here, Anthony?
I'm just cleaning the heads of the tape machine yet again.
There are beginning to be problems with this tape machine. I know you don't want to hear this, but
For me, going to tape didn't seem like an incredibly important thing, but I guess we had reached an agreement that we wanted to have an old school analog vibe and sound.
appropriate level. So, I mean, I can check the alignment again, but I'm beginning to think that
It's fucking up.
it's going to be more trouble than it's worth from my end.
Right.
But that does pose a problem with
Like with an album. The band doesn't always agree on everything that goes on.
Fucking tape machine. Who the fuck would want to use a tape machine? These old school analog guns. Fuck.
And, you know, as far as bands go, it's a pretty opinionated band.
No, we had a few issues with it. But the main man, Anthony, fixed it. We got through it and we ended up with a good product. That's all that matters.
I'm just trying to get a...
Yeah, look, you know, the pressure was on. You know, we didn't have enormous amount of money.
How does it...
If it's a manufactured click,
How
it
does
doesn't
it
matter.
It will... I understand what you're saying. That actually sounded good. So that's all that matters, though, isn't it? At the end of the day.
We had 4 days at Rock and Rolls, which across 9 songs works out to be 45 minutes per person per song. So we had 45 minutes to get our part down, decide we're happy with the take.
Mr. Roll. Yeah, he was his headphones hammer.
Go and make a cup of tea, get ready for the next one.
So she was in key the whole time? You didn't have to use like that T-Pain app?
No, we didn't have to use that app. So, Phoebe was remarkably in key, actually. It was like the final take in the studio where the producer goes, that's it, it's fucking awesome, let's move on. And she did that in the rehearsal room, so we're very proud of her.
Look, when I was 13 years old, I had 3 cassettes. Yes, I'm a dude from the day when they had cassettes. And the 3 cassettes that I had was Jimi Hendrix Plays Monterey Pop Festival, The Angels, Face to Face, and AC/DC, Back in Black. And that's how I learned how to play guitar.
Hey George, you forgot to mention that 4th cassette tape in your collection.
Poison. Open up and say, ah.
Fuck, man. I just thought we'd share what guitars we're using in the studio at the moment. This is a Paul Neller guitar made in Australia. Paul made me this guitar and I absolutely love it. That's my number 1. It says George there. I'm the only person that plugs into this amp. This amp actually went on tour with Soundgarden. Kim played through this amp and did the whole tour with it, and I purchased it when it came back from tour. This is 69 SG Standard. It's the same model that Angus Young uses in AC/DC. Well, this has been my mainstay now for over a decade. This guitar has almost played every single gig that I've done for over the last 10 or 12 years. And what can I say about this guitar? I wouldn't trade it for anything.
I love this guitar.
This is my 1969 Fender Jazz Bass that was actually owned by Lenny Kravitz and was the guitar that he and Tony Brett used for the album Are You Gonna Go My Way?
Within this band, we have baffler moments. We've had Badger baffler moments.
Just a D.
Yeah, I think so.
Just an E.
We've had Dion baffler moments.
How the fuck did that happen?
And we've had a Giorgio baffler moment as well.
Just got to get to that. All right. You need that cymbal, eh? Cymbal. Go get one of those cymbals. Watching George do the solo in Lights Out was just ridiculous. All right. Remember that suggestion I made a while ago about putting the reel on backwards and recording a reverse one?
I knew I was going to have a problem with it because finding where the 1 was, it drops a beat. And I'd love to say it was a first take solo.
Get a vibe for the solo.
Yeah, D, we need the 1.
Sing sometimes.
Just you need to clap something.
But it's actually a solo that was created by about 3 takes.
It's working.
No, I'm
It's
distracted.
working. It's working, man. It is working.
And what I mean was, part of the first take, part of the second take, possibly part of the third take. I don't know if it was that bad, but yeah, it was a little embarrassing, but it certainly wasn't a one take.
As soon as I changed from a normal time to a half time, it was unnecessary, because instantly it was just like the song felt normal and natural, and George could solo over it with ease.
The main vibe of this record for us is really capturing the original jam room recordings that we did all those years ago and put on a CD, and then Phoebe came and sang to. And we just went in there and we just jammed out those songs with the best quality engineering we could get.
Having worked with the guys previously and many years ago in Fort, I think we all came back feeling really comfortable. There was so much emotion in those vocals, and I think that everyone involved will look back on this. I mean, I certainly will, as one of the most rewarding projects that I've ever done.
The vocal melody in I Won't Be Your Slave Anymore, for me, is the epitome of Phoebe Black's great talent in coming up with a melody which is just amazing and takes a song to a whole new level. If you listen to the riffs in that song, it's just da 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 da, all these things, and she has put this soaring melody right over the top.
I just have to say thank you, because I can tell you right now that is Phoebe's ultimate song. I had so many conflicting emotions going through there. I had goosebumps. If she knew that her voice could sound like that with those riffs and that sound, she would just be so proud.
There's no way we could not follow through and do this record. It just had to be done. You could say anything to Phoebe right now, what would you say?
Your dream's coming true, baby, and through all of these amazing, wonderful people, we've all pulled together to give you what you wanted in your life, and I just wish that you could be here to see it.
When Phoebe came along, we were all excited. We were ready to take it on, ready to record. It was just at that time when we were getting ready to explode when Phoebe did what she did.
That's what's the hard thing to understand about suicide, is that we had something special, and I know Phoebe approached certain people within days of her death to take it to the next level.
I had no idea Phoebe was going to commit suicide. I didn't think anyone had any idea that she was going to do what she did. One can only guess what was really going on for her. I think it came out of the blue, because prior to that, I believe she was really happy and didn't exhibit any signs whatsoever that she was about to do what she did. So yeah, I think it took everyone completely by surprise.
Do to see Phoebe now, I just hug her and just say, let's go and get you some help, girl. Because I honestly didn't see it coming. I can sit back and look at the lyrics now and go, fucking, how did I miss that? How did I miss it?
In hindsight, in regards to Phoebe's lyrics, the meaning behind them is actually quite confronting. It's quite eerie that a lot of her lyrics seem to allude to the fact that she had been thinking about it.
Phoebe was very, very good at writing cryptic lyrics. Imagine I'm a fish, won't you throw me a line? What happens to a fish that gets thrown a line?
The lyrics say a lot, and I think they need to be heard. not only to Phoebe's friends, but to anyone with problems out there, to say, look, there is a way. There is a way out, and there is help out there. If I could go back in time, knowing what I know now, I'd most probably say to Phoebe, what are you doing on the 28th of August, darling? I'd like to hang out with you.
I think if any good can come out of this record, it is by raising awareness of the support networks that are available to people that are feeling suicidal.
I think the central message that we want to convey with this record is that suicide is never the answer.
You know, I think if someone's contemplating suicide, reach out to someone, you know. Whether it's I mean, not everyone has friends and family, but there's help there for that.
Phoebe was a beautiful woman with a beautiful heart. She cared and loved a lot, and it sometimes was too hard for her to cope with. You never know where people are going to be from one day to the next, and that we need to strive to look after each other and make sure people are okay, because it's so easy to lose someone that's so precious.
You've just got to fucking appreciate people whilst you're with them, you know. Fucking let them know that you're there for them.
For anyone that's feeling anything like that, just hold on for as long as you can and get help. There are people that want to talk to you and will help you through this difficult situation. And believe it or not, you may think it right now that the pain is overwhelming, but it will pass.
I felt like it was even disrespectful to think that we could get another singer. And it wasn't until I was at work one time and Ange had come in. And I was telling Ange the story. And Ange was like, oh, so you're going to get a new singer? And up until that point, like, I didn't even didn't come into my mind.
I got this phone call from George. Hey, Badger. I found someone, man. I found someone. She's going to be good. She's going to be really good. And into our jam room walks Ange Soul.
Well, here we are, Valhalla Lights Part 2. We've got a new singer, lovely Ange, and we're writing a new record. And we're really busy at the moment writing new songs and just trying to get a new record out.
Coming off stage after my first gig with Valhalla Lights was the first time I've ever had people come up and just go, that was amazing, and I'm like, that was incredible, and normally it was like my friends. But yeah, I had these massive guys with beards and tats going, oh, that was so good, you guys are incredible. And that was our first gig. I was like, I've never experienced anything like that before.
I'm not happy that what happened, but I'm also extremely happy that I'm now playing with Ange, who I believe is fucking awesome.
No, I did meet Phoebe. I heard a lot about her always going into the shop talking to George, because he was always filling me in what was going on with the band. So, and yeah, I guess that's probably how I got to know her, was through his eyes.
When the right chemistry is there, it kind of, it's magical. And we have that. And, you know, we love Ange for that. What she's brought to the table is beyond any of expectations, you know. Truly sent from the fucking rock gods, man.
Alright guys, first show.
First show.
How's it going? Let's do it.
supposed to do. Everything we're told is not true. Close your eyes, ignorance is bliss. Maybe from your own abyss. Maybe from your own abyss. We're just waiting for the world to start again. Waiting for the sun to hold our hands. Waiting for the world to start again. Take a look in front of you. One and one don't make two. Will someone please let us know so we can get on with the show? So we can get on with the show. We're just waiting for the world to start again. Waiting for the sun to hold our hand.